If there is one man who built his name off the international relations brand well, it is Parag Khanna, a global citizen in action, born in India and a resident of Singapore who has lived in more than 4 countries in his lifetime. I really respect his point of view as it falls in line with how Grassroot Diplomat operates. He also believes that anyone can be a diplomat, but looks at things from a more realistic and practical angle that we can really appreciate. I wanted to provide you with some background knowledge about how diplomacy and international relations actually works in today's chaotic world. Hi YouTube, I'm Talyn Rahman-Figueroa, CEO of Grassroot Diplomat, where diplomacy starts with you. To help you get into the mindset of this very complex field, I recommend you pick up the book How to Run the World, Charting a Course to the Next Renaissance by Parag Khanna to support Chapter 1, Skills for a Changing World of the Diplomatic Planner. This book paints an excellent picture on how a new kind of diplomacy can make the world a better place. Parag starts off by talking about how we all want world peace.
What is the one most important thing our society needs?
World peace. Definitely world peace. That's easy. World peace. World peace.
But what is actually stopping us from achieving this? Surely we all want a more equitable and peaceful world where people have, access to food, water, shelter, and an education. We've been talking about this utopian world for decades, and leaders continue to aspire to this utopia when speaking on the world stage. Khanna suggests that simple techniques from the past might be a solution. Now, just as Grassroot Diplomat believes, the author suggests that diplomacy requires new rethinking, moving away from the old, powerful man sitting around the table image of how diplomacy is usually portrayed.
Oh no.
Thanks to self-interest, the world currently functions like a mosh pit at a rock concert. We have different actors who are all pursuing their own interests, which is creating more chaos than harmony. There's a global north and the global south.
We got politicians, academics, religious groups, and multinational corporations,
to name a few. Now, each of these actors are so ambitious in their own goals, it has created a massive power struggle. When all of these forces are colliding wildly, sometimes even violently, all around each other, it is really difficult to work in peace and harmony. To change this situation, we need a new diplomatic system, or what the author refers to as
mega diplomacy,
that makes every influential force negotiate and work together with others. In the modern world, especially with the emergence of new technologies, diplomacy is far more than a means of negotiation and defense against war. For diplomacy to be mega, diplomats themselves need to be influential, proactive, and collaborative. Isn't that what I've been saying? When an organization like the Americans for Informed Democracy get together, delegates are not just representing their own countries, but also institutions like Greenpeace, the World Trade Organization, and major oil cartels when simulating multilateral negotiations. These negotiations are really useful in portraying the true reality of our times, when numerous powerhouses are influencing international relations and the operations of diplomacy. In this sense, diplomacy isn't just about representing nation states. Instead, new diplomats are activists, academics, celebrities, and even entrepreneurs in our modern age. Anyone who has influence can be a diplomat, and the author makes a case for how all diplomats should aspire to forge meaningful connections with a wide range of actors who do not officially represent a country.
Hello.
Diplomats must understand the synergy they can achieve through collaborations. There is no way for them to understand everything about the world, like governance and development. So they need to team up with people who are experts in their fields. By combining skills with those of others, diplomats can produce better policies and more favorable outcomes. Again, something the diplomatic planner already touches on. Global stability depends on regional stability, which means focusing on more grassroots influence and activities. Diplomacy can help in this process of building stable regions, but not the kind of state-to-state diplomacy that we're used to. A new type of crowdsourcing diplomacy is required, similar to the work of Grassroot Diplomat. Thanks, Parag! While there are various organizations, governments, and individuals that do help weak states, empowering citizens to take action as local diplomats can really help to intervene domestic policy and remove rogue leaders. Helping impoverished countries implies focusing on their immediate needs and building their independence. In the end, dependence on aid actually impedes poor countries from making true progress. So instead of giving aid, people should focus on the immediate needs of countries by tackling more rooted problems. Their needs actually extend far beyond money. They also need access to clean water, food, education, and shelter. And while many organizations attempt to execute this approach, after a few years of implementation, many of them become bureaucratically overburdened, politicized, and generally, less effective. In short, the world is a convoluted mess of global actors, each driven with their own self-interest. War, poverty, suffering are, sadly, still rampant, and the only way forward is a new diplomatic approach that fosters communication among all actors. See, there is a place for you as a diplomat after all, and I'm not the only one telling you this. How to Run the World is recommended for the purposes of the Diplomatic Planner. The Diplomatic Planner is a 12-month career development toolkit for diplomacy and international relations professionals looking to explore or grow their expertise in the field. Both books are available for purchase via Amazon. For further recommendations, insights, case studies, and practical worksheets, please join the Grassroot Diplomat Online Academy via www.grassrootdiplomat.org/register. If you enjoyed this review, please like this video and let me know what you think about this book by leaving your comments below. I have reviewed over 120 books to recommend to diplomats, and so far I've only covered 6. So subscribe to this channel for more juicy intel as part of your diplomatic training. I don't want you to be left behind, so I've left you some links below to help you become a diplomat. Do check it out. As usual, I'll see you next Friday, but until then,